you mentioned concern about the Southern strategy. I assume, just to unpack that for people listening, it was your concern that by trying to appeal to conservative Democrats, you would be losing the opportunity to open the door to more minority representation in the Republican Party. Was that the...
Exactly right. Many of us still thought of the Republican Party as the descendant of Abraham Lincoln. And although, and we felt a little ambivalent about Nixon's appeal to the so-called Southern strategy, because there was always a question of whether the Southern strategy had a racial element, and we were anxious to rebut that.
When you were doing Labor Order 4, there was some pressure on you to include women. Could you tell us about that, and then the decision to come out with a revised Labor Order 4, or Labor Order 4 revised a year later, I think?
I'm trying to remember what the revision was.
I think discrimination on the basis of gender, I think, was added.
Did we add that?
Yeah.
But we didn't have goals and timetables for women, did we? I don't think we did.
No.
I remember there was a delegation of women that came to see me when I was Undersecretary. Ruth Ginsburg may have been one of them, but I can't remember for sure. In which meeting they demanded, rather imperiously, that Order Number 4 include goals and timetables for women. I think they were focused first on the construction industry. I was a little befuddled. I remember saying to them, well, you don't mean to suggest we should end up with a plan that would require 50% women as operating engineers on steel girders in New York? Yes. It was sort of, if you build it, they will come, to use the phrase from a movie. You know, if you demand 50% women, they'll come. And I said, wait a minute, you know, there's no showing that women are available to perform jobs such as this. I think that's sort of ridiculous. They went out quite angry, and I was subsequently described in Esquire magazine and the Washingtonian as a notorious male chauvinist pig. And I had been abrupt and rude to women who had come to talk to me about this. One of my assistants wrote to the magazine saying, that's not fair, he's not discriminatory, he's abrupt with everyone. I said, thanks a lot. But I guess we did include the revision the next year, but without the goals and timetables for women. My view then, I remember telling this to those women, that I did not deny there was discrimination against women in the workplace. But I was quite convinced that if we could eliminate discrimination against women, we would not need the same kind of push towards integration that we needed for African Americans. That if you eliminated discrimination in many areas of our society, you would end up with virtual parity. I turned out to be correct in law, medicine, but it'll never be true of operating engineers or paratroopers.